Welcome back, Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We have Bryant Falconer extraordinaire as our co-host. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, I'm doing good.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's weird, man. We're in the leaf.
I like to change things up, throw you a curveball every now and then. So anyway, guys, we are recording at the Leaf.
Yes, sir.
Our home shop.
Yes, sir.
Our home lounge.
Yes, our home.
It's like going to relax at the Taj Mahal. Dude.
It's a blessing. It really is, man.
I mean, what Jay and Corey have done with the Leaf has been just way more than what I had ever expected. I mean, and I'm going to tell you this. Whenever you see like drawings of what the place is going to look like, you're like, oh no, I wouldn't do that. I would do this, or I would do that. and then, it's easy when it's on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But then when I walked in for the first time, I was like, damn, he knocked it out of the park.
Sure did.
Whatever little trinket ideas I had.
I'm glad they didn't pay attention to them.
They knocked the home run on this place.
Glad they didn't pay attention to them.
So, hey, guys, if you are watching the show this week on YouTube, make sure you like it and comment and subscribe and forward it to everyone in your contact. Okay, you don't have to do that part. But that would be cool.
It really would be.
So anyway, we want to say thank you to you guys that are tuning in via YouTube.
Yes.
It's been a crazy ride because we didn't know nothing about YouTube, but we didn't.
So you brought in an expert.
We brought in Luke Jones,
the expert.
I don't know if he's an expert.
Hey,
he's done well.
Look at those views.
He's done well.
Look at those views.
Okay, he's done well. So. Anyway, if you're on YouTube, like us, subscribe, and leave a comment. Did you see the comment from last week's video?
No, I didn't. Which one?
You remember when we did the blind taste test?
Yes.
Well, somebody left a comment and it said, Bryant gets burned again.
Yes. Every time.
That's not true. Not every
Rob
time.
Enjoys quality. He enjoys extinguished, sticks. I get turd rockets. I get cigars that explode in my face.
Yeah. So that being said,
it
was I laughed at that comment
because the truth.
Bryant gets burned again. I was like, that could have been the name of the show.
True.
So anyway, let's talk about our sponsors right now. And we're here.
Thank you.
We're here at the Leaf. We're here at the Leaf. These guys sponsor us. We've been with the Leaf. Well, it was our home shop before the show ever was thought about.
Yes.
And what Jay and Corey have built here in Abilene, Texas is amazing. If you want to stop by, they're on North 2nd at 1166.
Yes, sir.
So come by. I mean, if you're within 50 miles, it's going to be worth your time. And what's funny is we were talking about how people are always like, hey, man, I ran into Bryant here and I ran into Rob here. And it's like, there's a good chance you're going to run into one of us.
Especially at the Leaf.
Right. And so it was just like, yeah, that's our home. That's our home away from home.
Yes, man.
And so look in the show notes, and we've got Jay's and Corey's phone number for the Leaf. You can call them up, make orders. They drop ship. They ship.
Immediately.
They've got huge amount of cigars,
especially when you walk in that humidor.
And then if you're a pipe tobacco guy,
yes,
I think they have over 130 pipe tobaccos.
Vast.
They have pipes, they have lighters, they have cutters, and they also have great coffee.
Yes, sir.
So you can call them up, they'll get it shipped right to you. And speaking of what he carries, Artisanal Tobacco Viva La Vida's here. McAuliffe is here. You can order, like I was talking to, I think it was Zeke. He ordered McAuliffe and Viva La Vida. You saw Junior posted the picture.
Posted his drop shipment. It was like a C-130 flew by and just dropped this humongous. He's like, and he just put it all out
and
there.
And I saw there was a box of Viva La Vida, a box of McAuliffe. And the thing about it is, we were talking about it on the pre-show, or maybe even before we started recording, about the quality tobacco of your two favorite sticks, the Sumatra,
yes,
which is what I smoked on the pre-show today, and then the Viva La Vida
Club,
and
yes.
It's like, you know, smoking that Sumatra from McAuliffe, it's been a while, and I was like, now I remember why this is such a great cigar. It's that blend that takes you on a roller coaster of excellence.
Yes.
It's like you start out with a nice, deep, rich soil flavor, and you know it's that volcanic, and then it rolls you right into some nice leather, and then you go into some spice, and it's like, wow. And then you smoke the Viva La Vida, and you also get that special blending.
That leather, that earth.
And but they're like, two unique cigars.
That's true.
They don't mirror each other.
No.
But what a great combination to switch off to in the evening.
Those are my 1 and 2.
I know.
And it doesn't matter which one is first. They're both there.
Right.
It doesn't matter how picky. I just reach in my humidor, and there's a plethora of Sumatras and Viva La Vida Club 500.
Because what are you smoking right now?
I got a Christmas present from our producer, and it was a Viva La Vida Club 500.
Very nice.
And I'm just like, thank you, sir.
Yes.
You know me well. You know me well.
And that's how I also got the Sumatra.
Yes, sir.
And so I already smoked my Sumatra.
As we know he does.
So now I just lit up a New World from AJ, the Cameroon.
Yes.
You know I'm a big fan of this stick.
Yes, sir.
It's so smooth and rich. It's creamy.
Cameroon, baby.
And that Cameroon wrapper, man, it's good.
It sets it off.
Yeah. So this is our Happy New Year show.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year 2021.
Yes,
Wow.
2021.
Well, you know what's funny is you look back over 2020 and you think about all the great cigars we've had.
How?
Dude.
How?
You know,
that's the question. How? Because we've had a lot of great cigars this year.
A lot of new cigars.
Yes, we were blessed by some of our patrons with Sean blessing us with certain sticks. Zeke, Junior blessing us with sticks, man, and the producer at the end of the year blessing us with sticks, starting the new year off.
So many people send us cigars, and it's been a real blessing.
Yes,
it's always interesting to smoke new sticks that like aren't available. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, well, this person likes this. I want to see what it is. And so that's been a blessing. 2020 was very unique with the quarantine stuff going on. It seems like my cigar smoking went way up, which is hard to do.
Not for you.
But, I powered through.
Yeah.
I took on that sacrifice.
Yeah.
I wanted to be, everything I can be.
Yeah, I got you.
I was like a
army commercial.
Yeah,
be all you can be.
I was like a cigar army guy.
He's a cigar soldier.
Yeah, there you go, cigar soldier.
Be all you can be.
Be all you can be. Smoke all you can smoke.
That's a good one. We start that cigar soldiers.
Smoke all you can smoke.
Smoke all you can smoke, baby.
So anyway, it's been a great year, but you know what? I'm excited for this new year.
Yes.
I'm really excited to see what happens in 2021. Whew. I mean, dude, think about this. Going back to when we were kids, 2021 sounded like
we were in space cars.
Yeah, the future.
You remember the Jetsons? That's what it reminded me of. He did not make that sound effect. We were flying in cars, living 57 feet above.
You had a robot maid.
Yes. What was her name?
Rosie.
Rosie. Yeah, Rosie. Coming out. Yay, Mr. J.
Leroy.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That was the son.
Leroy
I don't remember the dog's name.
Astro.
Yeah. Very nice. And the husband's name?
George Jetson.
And the wife?
That's a good question.
I don't know the wife.
Me neither.
I bet
the wife and the daughter.
Yeah, I don't remember either one of them. But you always remember Leroy because he was always into something.
Jane, his wife.
Jane.
And because I'm going through the song, and they named him in the song.
So he doesn't.
Judy.
Oh yeah.
So it was George, Jane, Judy, and Leroy. That's cool, man.
And do you remember the boss?
Oh, Mr. Spacely.
Nice.
Spacely Sprockets.
Man, look at you. Wow.
That was my cartoon, man.
Wow.
Every Saturday morning, man. Remember when we were kids, Saturday morning was the best thing. You go grab your cereal and sit right in front of the television.
Dude, yeah. It was.
Your parents knew exactly where you
and
were.
Your parents were usually asleep.
Yep, because they didn't have to worry about you.
Yeah.
They knew you were just going to go in the refrigerator to get the milk and in the cabinet to get the cereal and a bowl. That was it.
Yeah, it was a different time.
Now you got to go check.
2021.
You got to go check the computer to make sure, some crazy guy's not trying to sneak up on your child. Oh man, it's just totally different, man. We sat in front of the television and watched us. Remember Space Ghost? Mm-hmm. Oh man, Grape Ape.
What was the show that was like at the end of the cartoons? It wasn't a cartoon. But it had they landed on some weird planet back in time or something, and it was like
with the sleeve stacks.
Bingo! What was that show?
Was it
Land of the Lost?
Yep, because the song started going through my head. Let's get off that nostalgia.
There we go. So anyway, man, we're looking forward to a 2021 with you guys.
Yes.
Someone asked me on an interview not long ago that I did. They were like, "Where do you see yourself in Cigar Talk 5 years from now?" And I was like, I don't know.
I see Luke in your seat and Bryant Jr.
In 5 years? I don't think 5 years.
It could happen, man.
Maybe.
Just like we were saying in the pre-show, stuff is happening at light speed now.
Right, but at the same time.
What part of the show has Luke not had?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. He controls everything now.
Not everything.
Oh, today, I wish we could have taped earlier today. when Luke was setting up and you kept bringing things out of the woodwork on him, he just had this look like, it's not gonna work, but okay. It's not gonna work, but okay.
And I still never got to check my camera, and I can already tell you it's not going to be the way I want it.
Yeah, we know.
No,
he said it's the correct way.
So anyway, guys, let's do our pick six for the new year, for the first new year.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to pull out my phone.
I'm ready. Can I go with my three?
I would like for you to go first.
Okay. My number one this week, and I'm not going in any order, 3 to 1, 1 to 3. It's just my 3 this week. It's going to be the Diesel Whiskey Row.
You know what? You gifted me and Luke one of those,
yes.
And let me say that
and Larry too. Yeah,
yeah. Those, it was. I was like, wow,
yeah.
This is a good stick.
Yes, because your thing was you saw the cherry cask. You was like, but then you smoked it, and I saw the way you was looking. Like, wait a minute. You kept looking
good.
at it like
I kept
picked
looking
up the
at
wrapper
it.
again. Like,
I
did
kept
say that?
I
For
kept
real?
looking at it like I can't believe this is that good.
Yeah, and it was.
I haven't smoked very many diesels. And that one impressed me. The ones I've smoked before, they are mostly spice bombs.
Yes. And this one is not.
That one had a nice blend.
Yes. And it was
how did you like yours, Luke?
I heard. That's what I was going to ask.
Oh, yeah.
Did Luke get to smoke his?
I accidentally smoked it.
Accidentally?
Yeah.
You told me the reason you smoked it was it was sitting out, and I didn't want it to go back.
Okay, you gave them to us. When we left the studio that night, I came back outside,
and it was sitting
there in front of the computer, and I was like, well, I don't want this to go bad.
It was like, smoke me, Rob.
Yes.
Smoke me.
So anyway.
How far is the Humidors from that chair?
Oh, it's 5 steps.
Yeah, I would have to have moved it like 8 feet.
8 feet.
And I was like, smoke it, save it now.
Smoke it. Save it. Smoke it.
Hey, yeah, Luke put your Christmas gift in the humidor.
I'm thankful you did. I'm really thankful you did.
He was like,
because if it sat out, it would be gone too.
So, anyway,
my number 2.
Yeah, that's a great stick though.
My number 2 is the Project 40 by Alec Bradley, and it's actually the Gordo.
Nice.
Oh, bruh. For $6.
Yeah, that's a knockout.
For $6.
And you realize that was on last year's top 25. I think it came in at like 11 or 14.
This is a blessing for $6, man. When I talk about taking you on that ride, everything about it is great. From the construction to the cold draw, from the first to the third, it's just like man, lights out.
Yeah,
lights out. And for $6, bro.
They really put together something there nice.
Come on.
They really. Now, have you had the Maduro yet?
Yes.
Now, the Maduro is a completely different cigar. Totally. I mean, totally different.
I knew what I had in the Gordo because I smoked a few of those. But when I lit up that Maduro, I was like, wait a minute. This is different. It still had the flavors throughout. It was a nice ride, man. And I was like, dude, Alec Bradley hit a home run with me with these.
And, you know, one of the questions I had is, you know how much I love the fine and rare?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it comes out every year.
Yep.
Where is the damn 2020? I have not seen those yet. And I know they were working on something special of doing like 5 different cigars for each year. I don't know, man. I really hope Jay's going to bring those in when they do come out.
I do too. And my last one was my Club 500, man.
Nice.
I had about 3 of them this week, and then got one for a Christmas present.
A bonus.
Yes.
Bonus.
Thank you.
All right, so this week, my first one is going to be the Dias de Gloria.
Good stick. Yep. Good stick.
Dude, it's a fantastic stick. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you haven't tried that one, you should definitely try it.
We've smoked it a couple times on the show.
It is what I consider to be a great blend, but it's rich. Mm. It's elegant. You know what I mean? It's really impressive.
It's that sophistication.
Now, my number 2 this week may surprise you. I'm going to go with the Medallia in the Toro size.
Dan, you listening?
Hey, you know what?
Dan, you listening?
I'm going to tell you right now is, you know, back in the summer, I did a test and smoked a whole box of Toros.
Yes, you did.
And I still went back to the 6x46. Mm-hmm. And then I decided, you know, through smoking some other cigars, I've kind of like gone away from the 46 ring gauge.
Okay.
And I'm more at the 50 to 54.
Okay. So you stepped up a little bit on the gauge.
And then when I smoked, and I'm still smoking, the Toro Medallias, and I'm like, you know what? I mean,
got to own up to it.
I'm not one to make mistakes.
No, you're not one to own up to mistakes.
I say that maybe,
here we go.
My palate has matured again.
Okay. Dan, this is him saying he was wrong.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. So, but hear me out.
Okay.
What I have come to realize is that the Toro is a completely different stick.
Yes.
And you can't compare the two as in which one's better because it's a different cigar. Even though you have the same blend, that Toro smokes completely different. What on the 6x46, I still love. I get more of the sweetness from the wrapper.
Okay.
With the Toro, I get a little more rich robustness from the blend. Does that make sense?
It does. It really does because of the Toro versus the 6x46.
Yeah.
You got a different wrap.
The extended
different
Corona
roll,
is you get the same blend, but it's a different smoke.
You're taking a different ride.
Yeah.
That's versus being in the front seat of the roller coaster to the back.
So hear me out. I'm not saying it's better than the extended Corona.
It's the same ride, just different experience.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I'm not, always I said before the Corona Extra was better.
Yeah, you did.
I'm not saying that now. I'm saying they are equal, but totally different experiences. So if you haven't smoked a Medallia, don't listen to our show. No, I'm just kidding.
He talks about them a lot.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then my next one was the Opus X Angel Share.
Mm.
Good smoke.
I haven't had that.
Is really good. I hadn't had one before either, and I read about it, and I was like, I got to put that on my radar.
Okay.
And anyway, I picked one up, and it was really good.
Okay.
And I'm not usually a big Opus X fan.
Yeah.
I think there's I mean, don't get me wrong, they make great cigars, but I don't see the Opus X as the majesty of cigars as much as some people do.
Yeah.
You know, if you're an Arturo Fuente, that's an Arturo Fuente guy.
He murdered it.
Yeah, he did. Wow. If you're an Arturo Fuente, wow,
He's
again,
still murdering it.
If you are an Arturo Fuente
All
fan,
right, slow down. There you go.
you know, that's like the upper echelon.
Yes,
that
sir.
and the Don Carlos.
Yes, sir.
And I do like them, but I think there's a lot of fabulous sticks out there.
They are.
That rival those. And I don't put them on that pedestal as high as I know the Arturo Fuente fans do.
Got you.
And if that's your profile,
Hey,
knock
roll
yourself
with it.
out.
Yes, sir.
I mean, and it's a beautiful cigar, beautiful wrapper. Love the band. So anyway, guys, hey, we're going to zip over to a quick break, and we're going to change out who's sitting here. Do you want to go first or you want to go second?
You're going first.
I'm going first.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to have Corey, one of the owners of the Leaf, join us. We're going to get his top 10, and then we'll take a break, and Bryant will come back with Jay. And then we'll take another break, and you'll come back. You'll have
knuckleheads.
Yeah,
back
knuckle
again.
one, knuckle two. So, hey, guys, we'll be right back after the break. Huh? Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for hanging through the break, and if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Don't do that every time. Looks like we did that already. Anyway, we have a special guest with us. We have Corey, one of the owners of the Leaf. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. How's it going?
Good, man. It's good to be here in the Leaf recording. We've only done this one before, and it's kind of a whole cool vibe that you don't get at the studio.
Awesome.
And so we're glad you're in town. We were talking about having Jay on, and he was going to give us his top 10 cigars of the year. And I was like, well, you got to get Corey to give us his top 10.
The expert opinion, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, when you look at the yearly top 25, a lot of people go straight to Cigar Aficionado because that's like the ultimate top 25.
Yeah.
But when people ask me, I'm like, I want to know what Corey's smoking. You know what I mean? It's like, forget Cigar Aficionado.
Yeah, we just went straight to the stratosphere on this one.
Yeah, I went to Corey, what are you smoking? So, and then, what confused me was I did have to pull one of yours out. The pink bubblegum cigar didn't work for me.
Man, why not?
I had a hard time lighting it.
I call that a classic.
And I had to skew it several times.
You're a professional at that, though, anyway.
So, tell us what you're smoking today.
I've got the Romacraft Black Irish.
Great stick.
Yeah,
Look, you see Bryant perks up. He's like, Black Irish?
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's lighting one. Are you serious?
We just said it when we started. We just said make sure whatever you do, just don't make sure Rob gets one.
Don't let Rob have one. He's a dick.
Let all the cool people have it.
Wow. So anyway, I'm smoking the AJ New World Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I know where it is. When I walk into the humidor, I almost go there out of instinct first. It has the Viva La Vida,
Yep.
and then the AJ, and then 2 rows down you have the McAuliffe.
Yep.
You guys got it knocked out. And now, let me ask you this: on the designing of the humidor itself, like what percentage did you contribute?
At least 5%.
5%?
5%.
Okay.
Maybe up in the 6%.
Now, was
range.
that positioning the doorway?
No, I helped hang the signs.
Oh.
So it's less of a design, more of an execution.
Yeah,
but,
and you made it appeasing to the eyesight.
Right. Well, I'm eye candy when I'm in there anyway.
Yes,
so it's like
yes.
it brings it up a notch.
I was going to say, when you're in there, that's the only time I don't go straight to the cigars. I come oogle where you are. You know, it's like, wow, there's Corey.
For sure.
So anyway, well, let's get to your top 10.
All right. So
you have these memorized?
yeah, because I'm that good.
Wow.
Yeah, right. No,
I was gonna
I'm
say,
not.
I have to write mine down or Google it.
So my first thing, because I'll say I've been smoking real cigars for about 2 years now.
Okay.
I've been smoking since I was 18.
Right.
Used to just go in the humidor once a month, every special occasions, and grab a brand name, And since we bought this place, it's changed
You've explored.
just a little bit. So
Yeah.
I made a policy where if I go in there, even if I have a stick I like, I'm like, no, you're going to go past that and go get something else, because there's too many in there to smoke the same thing twice. And you kind of need to know what you're smoking and selling at the same time.
Right.
So
absolutely. You know what I call y'all's humidor?
what's that?
It is the cigar humidor, but I call it Noah's Ark because it's so freaking huge.
And it's got the beautiful smell of the Ark would have. Well,
yes.
maybe a little better than the
Yeah. No farm
giraffes
animals. But yeah, when you walk in there, it's like you're looking down a corridor.
Yeah, that was the biggest part when we wanted to do this place, was we needed to do the humidor justice of the
And you
awesome
did.
selection that
Yeah.
Bill pioneered and Jay has executed, and we needed to make sure that was the beating heart of this thing. So that was real important for us. So
Knocked it out of the park. I mean,
yeah.
It's like when you get down to the essence of what a cigar shop is, the humidor is the starting point.
It is.
And y'all
It
knocked
is.
it out of the park.
And it's funny too, because we thought we were going to have all this extra room when we, because the other humidor
On
was
paper,
so,
on paper, you're like, oh, it's going to be.
It's going to be so huge. And then it was just getting it laid out so much better, and it ended up not having a lot more room. We have some more room, but just the layout of it and the way
It's not jammed in there like 10 pounds of cigars in a 2-pound bag.
Well, and back to what I was saying, for me, I go in there and I'm kind of looking around and, okay, so what are we going to try today? Because almost every time I'm in there, I want to try something different, even though I know there's some that I really like. I want to try something new, which is part of being a little bit newer to this. So it's easy for me to walk around and find what I want, and that made it such a much better experience to walk around in there and just, I'm looking for what I want. So yeah, that was the big thing. And so I'm trying to smoke something different a lot.
Now, is
And
that your first Black Irishman?
It is.
What are you
It
thinking
is.
about that so far?
I'm digging it.
It's-
I'm digging it quite
is
a bit.
cool, yeah.
Like we just said, that little hint of candela in there really just sets it
It's
off.
not overpowering.
No, not at all. And just
And
kind of
that's
sets it off.
very rich, full-bodied tobacco, and then you got that hint of candela. And Romacraft makes a good quality stick.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong there.
Except for the damn bands. Can we get rid of those bands?
I was smoking a Aquitaine yesterday, and I was sitting there pulling on it and really making it a problem
if
to try
you
and get it
talk
off
to
of there.
Mike Rosales, he will tell you that you just slide it off. Well, that doesn't always work for me. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, but just make a band with a pull tab. I think all companies should go to that model.
not two
make
pieces.
it with the pull tab. You just pull the tab and it comes off.
Well, just not two pieces is my ask.
Well,
it is beautiful.
Now, have you ever looked at the white band?
I was looking at it yesterday.
So you've seen all the hieroglyphic art.
Yeah, and I was wondering what the hell that is.
Yeah, it's hieroglyphic art.
All right, I'm not a big artist, so I can't compute on that.
I got you. All right, man. So let's get into your.
All right,
are
let's
you
do
going to do like number 10 and count down to number 1?
Yes.
Okay.
And that one, so just what I was going to get at was, so this is, even though there's, maybe 2 cigars in a line I like, because I try something different every time, I made sure I only put 1 from each line in there.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
You're going to get 10 different lines. is
Wow.
my-
Impressive.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. So number 10 we're going to start out with the Superfly, which
I've never smoked it.
yeah, I
I've
figured
never smoked it.
And-
Is that a sweet tip?
it isn't. No.
See, the reason I haven't smoked it is because that funky band makes it look like it's probably going to be a sweet tip.
Right, and so to me, a lot of these on here are going to be what I'd refer to as accessible. So, like say you have a really good Connecticut. I think that those have a lot of subtle flavors in there that my palate, it's wasted on me. Same with the really, really like complex, heavier, bolder smokes. I don't think I have enough respect for those yet to smoke them in some ways.
You haven't got there yet.
That's absolutely right.
Because it's a journey.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've already made a huge journey in just 2 short years because you went from smoking a name brand cigar that you recognize to trying new cigars. And that's when your journey starts.
Yeah. And, you know, it's funny. So I went from maybe once a month or just special occasions to owning a shop, and now I'm smoking 3 to 4 times a week. If I'm going to smoke, I want to sit down and enjoy it.
You see the cameras over there, and you're like this.
Oh, okay.
We would like to see your face. Hey, there you go, monkey boy.
All right, there you go. I was all focused on it.
Gotcha.
So, but what was that?
Anyway, you're on that journey,
and I've started smoking 3 or 4 times a week, but I only want to smoke when I can sit down and enjoy it. And I try to stay, I'm busy at work a lot, and I try to stay busy working on stuff in my spare time. So for me, it's end of the day. I want to sit down, have a glass of single malt or a good craft beer, and have a stick. So 3 or 4 days a week. It's funny. I'd like to think that, I bought a cigar store, so I'm smoking more. I think I'm smoking good cigars, and I want to smoke more now.
Right,
so
right.
That's where this has gone. So anyway, to me, a lot of these are going to be what I would refer to as like they're easy to access for my young palate.
Gotcha.
So that's why I picked a lot of these.
That's a good point.
So we're going to go with number 9 for me is the Punch Rare Corojo. That is just a one that I can sit down and enjoy, you know, not too complex, and just a good smoke.
Now, the Punch Corojo, I don't think I've smoked that in several, maybe years. Wow, I mean, it's a good smoke.
Right.
It's just been a long time because there's so many cigars.
Right.
I mean, there's cigars in there that I like that I haven't smoked in probably 4 years.
Yeah. So, and what's funny is that falls for me kind of into number 7, which is my father's La Dueña. That's a cigar that I smoked probably when we started this journey, and I didn't like it. And then here about a year later, went back to it, and I could taste other things in it that made me enjoy it more.
And isn't it funny how your palate evolves? Because just because you don't like it today doesn't mean you won't like it. Because I've told this many times, the first time I smoked a Padron 1926, I was like, eh. And now I'm like, ooh, I love that cigar. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
As your palate grows, you refine those blending profiles, and you're like, ooh, yeah.
And the other thing I'll say about this too is in the same vein of being semi-new to this, I tried to stay between $10 and $15. I did not go with any of the Padron number 1 Maduro.
Right. Well, you know,
easy.
On all of our top 20s in the past, I always did that. I wanted to stick in the working man's budget. This last top 20, I didn't. I was like, you know what? This top 20 that we did for our 2-year anniversary, I just went like, I'm going to pick my favorite top 10, and he did the same.
Yeah.
But usually we stick to the 15 and below because we want them to be able to try them. If you do a list of cigars and every single one of them is $40, nobody's going to smoke them all.
Well, and it's also, you'd like to think at that price point you're never going to get a bad stick.
Right. That's not true.
It's
not true.
Right. Like to think. But to me, that's too easy to roll in and just grab a $30, you know, and say, okay, well, this is a good stick. Because especially for people starting out, they're not gonna go.
Yeah, I mean,
get
back when I first started, I'll say this: when I very first started, me and my buddy Tim would go in a cigar shop and we'd buy 2 $20 sticks. And the reason we did that is because we knew nothing about cigars, but we figured for $20 it's got to be good.
Yeah.
And you know what? I didn't appreciate them at all. I was just like, it's good. And then a tobacconist picked me out at Christoph, and I smoked it, and I fell in love. And it wasn't a $20 stick.
And that, to me, would be one of my honorable mentions is the Pissed Off Christoph. That's
good smoke.
Yeah, I like that one quite a bit. So, where are we at? 7? Number 6 is going to be the Espinosa 601 Maduro.
Oh, yeah. Dude, great stick.
Yeah. And
I'm a big fan of Espinosa in general.
Yeah. And another, like a brand that didn't stick out to me and I only recently discovered, same deal. Just almost maybe I'm working. Scarily enough, this might be actually working down the humidor.
Right, you're going down the
physical walk is where these.
When I made my list, I walked around this way,
and realized that I've slowly over the months worked my way down as I get further down the humidor.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, man, just a good Maduro and same deal.
Now that's a pretty bold stick too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where it's also funny too, because I started out smoking a lot of these name brand type stuff that wasn't at all. And then all of a sudden here I'm getting into more of the darker ones, and then now that's almost more of what I go to now. So it's like I've almost gone full opposite lock on the other way.
And I did the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. I started out that way and worked my way to the super bold. Mm-hmm. And then once I finished that off, I went back to the super light and started over because I didn't appreciate a good Connecticut. Mm-hmm. I was like, Connecticut? Well, if they're selling so many Connecticut's, there must be something to them. Yeah. So after you experience the full-blown kick-your-ass cigars, go back to the light and start working your way back through, and you'll start getting small taste of flavors and be like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of these fall into that kind of the sun-grown and natural, because that's where I was at for a while until I started smoking some more of the Maduros and being real, just getting recommendations from Scott, Jay, you guys, you know, it's just...
And having Jay and Scott recommend cigars, let me tell you this.
I'm spoiled as hell.
It's like my son, Luke. Mm-hmm. He's only been smoking cigars since 2020. He has me and Bryant. He's never smoked a bad stick. I'm like, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? I didn't smoke. I smoked a lot of dog rockets back in the day to get where I am now. Yeah. He's not having to do that. You're not having to do. Yeah. You are
standing
just like,
on the shoulder of giants.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been real fortunate for me, and it's funny too. Like especially with Scott, I'll just sit down and I'm like, I'm not sure what I want to smoke today, and he's real easygoing about it. He's like, have you tried this? And he's like, you should. And he's so good at it, you know, that it's ridiculous.
Every time Scott says, hey, have you tried this? And I haven't, I always smoke it because he picks out great cigars for me.
Number 3 on here is a Scott pick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I smoked it
I
was down.
If Scott wasn't on COVID duty right now, we would be having his top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. And you probably would rather have his than mine.
No. We'd have the top 30 instead of the top 20.
Right.
But, all right, so what you got next?
Next one is, where are we at? Number 5 is going to be, or number 6 is Warped La Hacienda. And same deal. It's another stick that I can just go in there and smoke, and just it's easy to smoke and has some good flavors to it.
I'm going to bash this pick a little bit.
I figured you wouldn't love every one.
No. So far, I love your picks. And I love that cigar when the construction is good. I've smoked so many of those that I was let down on the construction that I steer clear of them now. And it can just be the luck of the draw. You know what I mean? Because it's a handmade product. You're not always going to get the perfect construction.
Well, the guy might be hungover that day, or, you know.
He might have found out that he has anal reaming coming up, you know.
You were bad last week.
So he might be under a lot of stress. Anyway.
The production numbers were down last week, sir.
You know, Aganorsa Leaf is part of that.
Right.
And I'm a big fan of Aganorsa Leaf, but I've noticed that I've smoked, I would probably say 50% of the time when I've bought that stick, it hasn't held up construction-wise.
Really? Seeing another one of my honorable mentions was going to be the Guardian of the Farm.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
same.
See, and once again, I'm moving through. I smoke one or two.
No. Now, which one did you say this one? This was the Warped Hacienda. Oh, yeah. I take it all back. That was on the Guardian of the Farm. Sorry about that, folks.
He's a professional, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, no, when you said Warped, I went Guardian of the Farm. No, the Guardian of the Farm, I've had problems with the construction. The Hacienda, I've never had a problem with, and that to me is one of the most underrated sticks in the humidor.
Really?
Underrated.
Wow. Yeah, I'm surprised.
I think people don't know about them. I
figured you'd like about 2 of my picks on here.
No, I think that's a phenomenal stick. In fact, it's been on my go-to list before.
Yeah.
It's a good stick. The blend has a lot of depth, and it smokes well. That's my favorite Warp cigar for sure.
Really?
All right, what else you got?
All right, next one is...
What else can I beat up and then say I was wrong?
Is the Viva La Vida Diademas.
Oh, dude. You know what? the Diademas, the Torpedo was my go-to on the Viva La Vida forever. Mm-hmm. But then I went through a whole box of the Diademas, and I was like, you know what? That roll is really nice.
Well, and that's another thing, too, that's, I guess, is part of this is what, shape and what you like. And I kind of, as I evolved a little bit, I started going to box presses just because of the simple ergonomics of fitting it in your mouth and smoking it. And then I kind of evolved into some of the, it seems like figurados lately have been what I'm smoking.
I love figurados.
And I don't know, it's kind of a chicken and egg question to me. Do I like the cigar because the roll is a figurado, or do I like the taste of it and it just happens to be a figurado?
Yeah, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Mm-hmm. And I mean, if it's got a great blend, I think you're going to enjoy it in any flavor profile. Yeah. But we were talking earlier, and I absolutely love the McAuliffe Medallia. Mm-hmm. And I recently started smoking it in the Toro size regularly. I have always been the Corona Extra, which is a 6x46. But what I realized is it's two completely different cigars depending on which Vitola you smoke.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. You know what I mean?
And that's my next one is I've been gravitating towards the Corona and enjoying the Corona size too a lot lately.
On the Medallia?
No, not on the just in general.
Oh, okay.
Everything.
Hey, yeah. And you know what? Sometimes that size fits more of how much time you have, but it's always very interesting to me to like smoke a Corona and be like, that lasted a lot longer than I thought it was going to, and the flavor profile was really good, but I don't lean towards the Corona because, I don't want to have them be getting up and getting another cigar so quick.
Yeah, and see, I usually, especially if I'm smoking at the end of the day, want like a 30, 45-minute smoke, and yeah, that's where a lot of, and as far as the size too, probably 48's my max. I think,
really?
Yeah, probably like up to 48 maybe. I don't like going much bigger than that, and I think it's part of the having a younger palate still with, you start getting bigger, bolder flavors. But
here's the thing. You get more flavor from the smaller ring gauge too, in general. I won't say across the board.
Yeah.
But, for the last year, I've been a 46 to 50. And now I'm sliding to like a 48 to 54.
Really?
I'm enjoying the bigger ring gauge, and it's like not too big. I mean, I don't want to get a lunatic out of the humidor. I've never smoked the 8x80, and I'm not going to. Although we did have that recommend. They're like, hey, you should smoke the lunatic, you and Bryant, on a show. And I'm like, I don't know. We don't want to do a 2.5, 3 hour show. So,
right.
Anyway.
So, all right. So, number 4, the McAuliffe. And the reason I picked this McAuliffe, I think I should say, is probably this was maybe my first McAuliffe I discovered, but it's the Matafina.
Oh,
and
good stick.
I just, and I've smoked a lot more than McAuliffe since then, but that was kind of my first one. And man, it was just a smooth, awesome stick.
That Matafina is creamy smooth. Mm-hmm. It really is. And you know what? I would say that's a cigar on your journey that has an intricate flavor profile that is very good for a young cigar smoker to enjoy, because it's almost like dipping your toe into really quality tobacco.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. And since then, I've smoked the smoked the Sumatra, which are awesome. And
have you smoked the Reserva?
I don't think I have yet.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think I might have one in my humidor, and I'm
saving it.
Kind of.
I got you.
And I'm bad about
Fair
that.
enough.
My family used to make fun of me, dude. I used to have like Easter bunnies, chocolate Easter bunnies, like in like November, because I wouldn't eat them from Easter time. I'd save them.
Hats off. I saved a cigar not long ago for 3 days. That's about how long a cigar lasts.
I think Brian had talked about doing something similar to that, right? Like he has them in the bottom of his humidor and he tries not to.
He makes the mistake, though, because what Bryant does is he puts all his special cigars at the bottom, and then when he gets all the way down to the bottom and he's out of cigars, he can only smoke the best of the best. And it's like, I don't want to have to smoke that. It's too good. You know what I mean? I come home from work and I'm like, where's a $10 cigar. I don't want to smoke a $40 cigar right now.
I can totally identify with that because it's bad. I have this like, oh no, that's a special one. You need to save it, and then it gets saved forever, never gets used, and you're like, you're a total idiot.
Yeah, for Christmas, Ed bought me a 1926, and I saved it for 3 days because I don't save. I'm like, someone told me a long time ago, enjoy what you have. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Don't be a miser of cigars.
See, now I'm trying to get the label off. Oh, it's going. Oh, nope.
Let me see that for a second. Let me see that, because this is the way I was told it works.
Hey, all right.
Look at that. It worked.
Man, see? Tells
It
you what I
doesn't
know.
always work for me, though.
I'll take it, 'cause
Sometimes it gets hung up.
Yeah, it was starting to get hung up on the...
Going the other way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what she said.
So, number 3, and this is the one that Scott picked me, is the Perdomo ESV Sun-Grown.
Oh, great stick. Dude, the ESV line in general lights out.
I'm so glad we got those in.
Yeah.
I'm like not probably to sell them. I'm just glad for me.
Smoke them.
Yeah.
I found those at the shop up in McKinney and Fuegos, and I was just like, oh, we got to get those at the Leaf, please. And then, like, within 6 weeks, we got them, and I was like,
It's because that's why we got them, because we knew.
No,
you wanted
I
them.
didn't even mention it.
No, we knew.
Where's, who's looking over my shoulder? So, all right, that's number 3.
That's number 3. So number 2, and man, so the Bella's Artes Maduro. You just can't go wrong with it, man. And it's just
AJ Fernandez.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And that might be one of the first Maduros that kind of turned me on to, and that might even be kind of what sold me on the darker.
And what's great about that stick is it starts out as a medium plus right out of the gate, and it's nice all the way through. But then on that last third, if you get it all the way down, it gets pretty spicy.
Yeah, it
I mean,
does.
you're like, wow. When you put it out, you've got spice for a few minutes.
Yeah, and it's that is a stick that is hard for me to do what I said earlier, which is walk past.
Yeah.
That's one I could probably smoke quite often. And
Yeah.
try to just keep on rolling, buddy.
It's a good one.
You need to
It's a
keep
good
trying.
one. Your
Yeah.
list has impressed me. I thought you were going to show up with like, fat bottom Betty's. I thought you were going to have some purple something. What's that? The blue? What's
The
that?
groovy blue?
I thought you were
That's
going to
my favorite.
Yeah, groovy. Oh, that's number 1.
Yeah, that's number 1. Take a sudden turn at the end.
Whoa. I did not see that coming.
It's and honestly, you picks of 2020. This might be the picks of me since I've bought the Leaf.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
since we've got this place and since we
It's
started.
the 2-year.
Yeah, a little bit because it's all of the experience kind of rolled into this list, really.
Nice.
So it's kind of growing up.
I'm impressed. You've come a long ways.
Thanks. All right, so number 1, CAO Amazon Basin. So
That's number 1. Wow. Wow. Bryant, guess what his number 1 is? Amazon Basin. Oh, that's one of his very favorite. That was on his top 10.
I might have some squirreled away.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell Bryant.
Yeah, right.
He'll be in there like a razorback looking for roots. So how's your experience? Hey, first, thanks for sharing your top 10
Yeah,
with
for sure,
us.
man. Thanks for having me and
Oh.
wanting to hear it. Like I said,
We thought, I'm going to be honest with you, I thought Jay's list was going to be amazing, and I thought yours would be hilarious. And you surprised me. It was good.
Cool.
Great list.
Thanks.
So,
Hey, like I said, I got a lot of help. So that's where a lot of this comes from.
but, and that's what I would tell anybody who's smoking. I don't care what level you are, ask for help. You would not believe how often Scott steers me to a stick I've never smoked before and be like, wow, impressive. So
It's part of, to me, being in this culture. I just can't go in there and just buy a box of one thing that I like. But man, this is my personality anyways. Variety's the spice of life. Why would you want to do the same thing every time?
you should never get married.
You haven't noticed I'm 40 and don't have that going on. So.
Right. Just saying, with that outlook on life.
I got too many cars, man.
Yeah. You and we've talked about that on one of the shows before. You got the 67 GTX, which to me is, for me, it's the pinnacle of muscle.
Yeah.
And it's not the Hemi.
No.
You have the Magnum,
The
which is
440.
the one I like.
440, yeah. That
Because
torque monster.
That was the car my dad had. A 67 GTX metallic dark blue with a black vinyl top with a 440 Magnum.
See, and that metallic blue is my favorite color of all time. Just
It's
of any
beautiful.
car.
And then you add that shiny black
Yeah.
vinyl top. It just looks so nice.
And that's something that you don't see on any modern cars, the vinyl
Right.
top, and it sets them off in a different way that you just don't see anymore.
I'm surprised they haven't brought those back.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if it will at some point. But man, modern cars, I don't want to say they don't have any style, but they certainly are. They feel more cookie cutter. Now, I don't know if that's
No.
just
Yeah,
rose-colored glasses.
I really think the designing of cars comes down to safety.
Yeah, and aero.
You know what
the
I mean?
aerodynamics just kind of made
Right.
it. And then now we have to
you-
have the bumpers,
Right.
crash bumpers.
And if you think about the best looking cars right now,
Yeah.
they're retros to what came out of the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, especially the Mustang and the new Camaro are carbon copies of the 60.
Well, look at
64 and 67 Camaro.
Challenger.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Challenger. Yeah,
looks just like it almost.
Yep. But it weighs 1,000 pounds more.
Oh yeah, because it is
Charger
big.
is big.
Yeah, it is. So hey man, we're gonna wrap up, and
sure.
I appreciate you coming on and giving us your list. We're gonna let Big Boy and Little Boy slide in and see what they have to say for Jay's top 10. So
man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you, brother. Hey, we'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back to Cigar Talk. The comedy show is over, I guess. And I am Bryant, and I'm sitting down with the one, the only, the man, the myth, Jay Patterson from The Leaf.
It's
How you
a
doing?
pleasure to be here, Bryant.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure to have you here. It's weird because we have a relationship that goes back, 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah.
And it is a great relationship because I look at you and I look at your conversations with me, and I'm like, okay, I take everything that you say and I hold it because I truly trust in what you're saying. I really do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's just your stepping up was a blessing to me because of the relationship we had.
Yeah.
And here we are now. You're the owner of The Leaf. You have a new shop. How do you feel about that?
I'll tell you what. There's been times when I thought, we're not going to get this done.
Yeah.
We went through a couple of different contractors, but towards the end, and things started coming together.
Yeah.
With this particular place, we started doing things that were just theoretical.
Uh-huh.
I saw from when I first moved to Abilene, The Leaf was at 202 Cypress.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was part of the move to 3rd Street.
Okay.
And that whole time there, and I took what I didn't like about the store
Gotcha.
or where it needed to be done different.
Uh-huh.
And I had ideas. That's all I had.
Okay.
Was I think this would work this way. And I'm blown away every time, and it's working.
Oh, because anybody that walks into this place, if you were at The Leaf that was on 3rd, and you walk into this place, you can tell the difference. You can see the change. You can see your vision of what you wanted. Like you said, you took everything that you thought needed to change, and you did it. And we have a home that is just like, wow. Wow. I remember when I did the walkthrough with you before, and you were telling me, this is going to be the humidor, this is my office, and back here is going to be this. And I could see your excitement then. And I was like, man, when he get it the way he wants, it's going to be not lights out. And then the first day I came in here after it was open, and I was able to walk through and see your vision, I was like, yeah, he did it.
I'll tell you, one of the most unique things was developing a floor plan, a 3D model, and measuring. I don't know if you remember, but I walked around for about 2 months with that tape measure on my hip.
Sure
Every
did.
time it popped in my head, I'm like, I got to measure this case.
Yeah.
I made a 3D model of everything we were going to bring over and put it in place in the model. And then once things started to shape and take form, it was weird. I would walk through,
Uh-huh.
and it was like I'm inside that 3D model,
Gotcha.
but it's real life.
Gotcha. And like I said, I could see your excitement, and you gave updates throughout the transition, throughout the build out and everything. And it was like, it's coming together. Yeah. It's coming together. And like you said, there were times where you were like, oh man, it's not, because I'd come, and because we were doing just the curbside then, and I'd come and you'd be like, man, I'm like, come on, Jay, man, you know you're going to get it. It's like, but I don't know. I'm like, you know you're going to get it done.
You never know how much stuff you have in a cigar shop until it's piled up in one room.
Yeah, I saw that. He's like, it's just everywhere, yeah, until you and the build out, the amount of room that you have, you've placed things in positions to accentuate that, to allow us to have, still that community, but also have a place where you could just like relax. And that's the beauty. I love it. Coming back here to the lounge, the VIP lounge, is like, man, come on. This is home, bruh. This is home. And it's just like you sit down and everybody has recliners and couches and everything, but the way you have them placed where we can still converse, but you can still sit and just relax yourself.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, brother. I truly appreciate it, man.
If you want to fly solo, you can.
Yes.
If you want to be part of the group, you can.
Yes.
If you want to make the group bigger, you can.
You can, definitely here. Let's get into what you're here for, which is your top 10 for the year.
All right.
Now, what are you smoking right now?
Right now, I'm smoking a Black Irish.
I am too. He blessed me. He blessed
by
me.
Roma Craft Tobacco.
Yeah, Roma Craft Tobacco.
I'll tell you.
And go ahead.
And you told me earlier, and it never dawned on me how really truly fortunate Corey and I are to be in a position we're in, where we can just sit for a second and decide what I want to smoke today, and then just go get it.
And go get it. I asked you. I said, when was your first official, day with the Leaf? And you said 2014, your first shift.
Yeah.
Work. I said that's 6 years of being able to pick the best and just hold on to it and just let it sit there and just say, okay, I'll come to you some other day.
Right.
And the ability, because I remember when I was, what was it, a year ago when I was going home and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give me some sticks before I go. And you brought out this box and it looked like, like one of those boxes that the NSA carries with the locks and everything on it. And you opened it and I was like, oh my God. He was like, you want to take? Yes, I want to take it with me. And he's like, no. But it was the amount, and not just the amount, but the sticks that were in there. Hard to find, can't find anymore.
Yeah.
The ability to have that is truly a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
And I think I take that for granted. Get stuck in the day in and day out, doing paperwork. I forget sometimes what's in that box. And you're right. I'll grab a good stick. I'll put it in there. I say, I'll get to you when I do. And years later, going through the box, like, holy crap.
Look at this. Oh, they don't even make these anymore. I can pop this out. And that's the blessing of it. So we're going to get to your top 10.
All right.
And I'm going to leave it to you, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. So my top 10. And this was tough. And I don't know how tough it was for Corey, but it was tough for me.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of good sticks in that humidor.
Yes.
And especially it's bigger now. It's got even more good sticks. So starting off was something new to the shelf.
Okay.
The Alec Bradley Project 40 Maduro.
Oh,
my gosh.
y'all know how much I talk about them.
I'll tell you what, for the price,
Can't beat it.
cannot.
Can't beat it.
It is amazing.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
And the trip it takes you on.
Yes.
That Maduro, like we were
get
talking earlier, the, what was it, the club?
The Club 500?
Yes. Has a specific taste, has a specific, feel about it. And then you go to the Project 40 Maduro, $7, $6, $7,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
It's like $5 $690 to $645.
And you like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
For $6, I can take that ride again. Oh, come on, man! And it is. It's pleasurable. I mean, the appearance, the wrapper, the construction. When you light your first cold draw, you're like, okay, man, yeah, I could taste some things here. Then you light it, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, here we go.
Did you ever read the wrapper? So on the wrapper, it says they wanted to do something that complements. And I'm gonna butcher it. Just paraphrasing.
Just don't go Bucky in it.
They're gonna go. They want to complement the serenity, physically and mentally, that a cigar will give you.
It does,
and that's what they did.
Yes.
And it takes you on that chocolate, and then you hit that band, pop that off, and it's leathery chocolate. Oh man, that's good.
Yes, it is.
And that was it. That's my top 10. No, I'm kidding.
I love that. We didn't take all day like Rob and Corey did. We got to it short, sweet, and to the point.
So coming in at number 9, so I'm going to go backwards here, is this stick is also pretty new, but it's real good. So you've smoked a lot of Espinosa.
Oh, yes.
So they collaborated with General Cigar.
Yes, they did.
Came out with the Warzone. Man, that stick is really good.
And your list starting off on
like that is it's a unique flavor profile, but it's smooth. Like you get some pepper, but for the most part, man, you just
take a ride.
It's like, hey, kick the feet up, pop the recliner,
come back here, pop the recliner, kick your feet up, enjoy. Man, you starting. Hey, I didn't hear all of Corey's list, but I can tell you this. I don't think he had a chance, bro. I don't think he had a chance. Let's go. Come on.
All right. Coming in at number 8.
I got to hear this.
It's a darker cigar flavor-wise, but great construction. Burns really good. It's the Romacraft Tarred and Feathered. It's their new box press they came out with.
Oh, I haven't had one yet. How is it?
It's good. It reminds me a lot of like a junior Cro-Magnon.
Now you really got me.
Now the closest I would say would be like, have you had the Blockhead?
Yes.
Okay, so kind of like that, but if the Blockhead married a Whiskey Rebellion and had a baby,
this would be that baby.
And you lit it on fire and smoked it.
It'd be that baby.
It'd be that baby.
I love that baby. I'm gonna try that baby.
Definitely worth a shot.
Yes, yes. We're gonna go and take a trip down the Tarred and Feather lane.
Yes,
man, I'm loving this.
Then this next one I think is the most underrated stick from General Cigar. It's got a lot of popularity as of late.
Okay,
but it sat for so long. People slept on it a long time. It's the CAO Brasilia. The box press.
You handed me one of those.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that to the utmost.
It is. I think it doesn't get enough credibility.
No, it doesn't. And I'm glad because it means there are more for me when I go in the humidor and I look on that side and I'm like, oh, yeah. And I grab me about 2 or 3 of them. And I'm like, people don't understand. I call Jay my Commissioner Gordon. Because he sends out bat signals to me. He puts them on Instagram for everybody, but to me, they're bat signals. And he'll announce what he has in there, and he said, today, such and such, such. And I'm like, okay. The next thing you know, I'm walking in the door, the bat signal I saw. And when you told me about that, and then you handed it to me, I was like, I got to take this ride. And bruh, as usual, you did not disappoint me.
Good.
Did not disappoint me.
That's the biggest thing I don't want to do. And a couple of weeks ago,
I did. Yeah.
But I didn't know. So the age on the Casa Magna was perfect, like age-wise. But I think it was placement in the humidor at 3rd Street.
Yeah.
That caused it some degradation. But I'll have to investigate on that.
Gotcha.
Because all signs pointed to a great stick. And then Rob comes in and goes, yeah, it blew up on him. It was funny. I'm like, no.
Yes. I had to sit back in. I was like, really? Is this really the band that's supposed to be on here? And he's like, yeah, I got it from Jay. And I was like, if you got it from Jay, I said it had to be the stick. It wasn't him. It had to be the stick. And then Rob tried one and did the same thing on him. So that's when you realize that it had to be something else about it. But that's the thing about it with you. When we talk to you about things that are going wrong, you get into it. You investigate it. You find out because you take your reputation and the least reputation to heart. Yeah. You don't want anybody to come in here and ever say that they, as I call them, turd rockets. They got a turd rocket and walked out the door because you take it to heart. And everything you do keeps the leaf going in that direction where it's all about the reputation. You're going to have the greatest sticks in here. You're going to make sure that the customers come in and that they're happy. And those that are a part of this place are going to feel like home. And that's what I look at you as, man. 100%.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. He started smiling. Did you have a picture of him? He's like, oh, no. Hey, this is not that type of show, but I'm going to stop. Go ahead. Because I'll go there.
I forget what number.
7.
7. No. Yes.
No.
6.
Yes.
6.
Okay.
All right. Number 6. Coming in. Near in the middle of the pack. La Gloria Cubana Spanish Press.
Yes, sir.
And I'll tell you why. This is on my list because you can't always have something super dark. Not always wanting that.
Mm-hmm.
The Spanish Press, to me, is unique in that they're all box press.
Yes, sir.
I'm starting to really like box press. But it has a floral sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you want something light. It's a nice medium body stick. And it's a different adventure you put yourself on.
Yes.
And the closest I would match that to is the Arturo Fuente Divine Inspiration. And those sticks, they're hard to come by.
Yes.
But close second, if you're missing your Divine Inspiration, is the Spanish Press.
Yeah, I can see that. I really can. That's a great pick, man. It's your number 6. Now I'm really want to know what top 5 are. I really. He says you don't have it.
It's the rest. Whatever you find in
Whatever
there.
you find in it, which is going to be great.
All right, so number 5. Number 5 is the Mi Amor by La Aroma de Cuba.
Yeah.
That one's a nice medium body stick. It's more rich, I think, in earthiness.
Mm-hmm.
But we slept on that for a long time. Our rep would come in, hand us these sticks, and they were good.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it was never brought in until recently.
Yeah.
Why the hell don't we have these on the shelf?
And now they're
Now
disappearing.
They're disappearing.
And that's the beauty of it. Like I said before, you listen to us and you have a mindset of a consumer. What is the best thing to bring in to keep the people happy and also provide what the Leaf has the reputation of providing, which is great sticks. And you continue that. So,
well, I tell you, you can't have a cigar shop and not listen. You're not going to make money off of yourself. You got to listen to what people want.
Yes.
And we're blessed here in Abilene because people want good cigars.
Yes.
And so we're able to maintain a good humidor because a lot of the people that come in, they want those good sticks.
Yes.
And
you provide them. Anybody that's ever been to the Leaf can say they find sticks that they can't find anywhere else. And it's always a variety that hits every part of the palate, no matter what. You're a deep super, as Rob used to be, the power bomb guy.
Yep.
They have those here. Those that love the mild to mediums, they have a plethora of those here. And then when you get in that medium to medium bowl, I think there's a section of the Leaf in that humidor that just has every, I know it's not every manufacturer, but every stick medium to medium bowl that is great is in there. You can't miss with any of them. And that's the thing I love about, and your list is just, it's hitting every aspect of it so far. Every aspect of it. I got to shut up, man. I got to sit back and shut up. Do your thing, bro. It's your show now.
Okay. All right, number 4. We're reaching the top now. So this next one is on the top half because I started thinking, what really is my top 10? and this is my top 10. And from a day in the life of Jay,
Okay.
I get to smoke a cigar in the morning
Blessed.
before the day happens to me.
Blessed.
So I don't go through the day happens to me. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But this next stick is a great morning stick. You get that little hint of graham cracker. This is also a medium body stick.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Olla de Nicaragua Red. Now that stick, excellent with almost every coffee that we offer here.
Which is a lot.
We do. We have a lot of blends. But I'd also say, if you want to have a more adult beverage, it complements really well.
Yes.
It's not overly sweet. It's not overly leathery. It's not overly earthy. It's just a good stick.
Oh,
and if I ever become not dirty rich, but the next level, which I call naughty rich,
Naughty Rich.
I would just have a bunch of those and just grab them, smoke them.
Anytime you feel like
Yeah,
it.
just just want a cigar. Just I'm bored.
See, when you
Let me
get to
grab one of
that
these.
point, when you're on in a cigar shop, you just say, okay, I get a bunch of those, and whenever I feel, I just fire one up. Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother.
All right, you ready?
Top three.
Top three.
Dun, 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 dun. Come on, Luke.
The drum roll. All right, so the top three.
Here we go.
Here we go. Everybody ready? All right. You in the back. Sit down. All right. Here we go. Number 3. The Bella Artes Maduro. Now, I'll say this about the Bella Artes Maduro. We've been blessed to have the opportunity to get the Figurado.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. We've always had the Toro for as long as I can remember. But the Lancero. Man. And we have, supposedly, our shipment coming in on the 22nd.
Bat signal. Bat signal.
But that Lancero is really good. Compared to, they're all good.
Mm-hmm.
But the best, to me, is the Lancero.
Okay.
That one, it tastes more pure, more rich. You get all those flavors, but it's the best of those flavors.
Because I've had the Toro. Now you getting a Lancero in?
Yeah. Now, if you can get around, and some people, they don't like those skinny sticks.
Yeah.
But if you can get around that mouthfeel, try it. Just for the flavor. Just try.
Yeah.
It's good.
And I can tell you, if he says try it, I promise you, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be way worth it.
Yeah, big time. Big time. Now, the problem is, naturally, Lanceros are just hard to roll. It's just hard to make. People look at it and say, it's less tobacco. Why don't they just make some more? Well, it's still the quality of the tobacco.
Yeah.
And it has to be the artisan of the roller.
Yeah.
And it's tough. And I'm glad that we have some coming in.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm worried because it's only a 10-count box.
So the day the signal goes up, I shall be moving immediately because I have to get mine.
Yep, definitely. Okay, number 2.
Uh-oh.
Number 2. Now this is number 2 because of not only the experience, the flavor, but taking into account the price point.
Okay.
It's the McAuliffe A. Like the McAuliffe A for $7.
People don't understand it.
It's one of the best Churchill Maduros you can get for that price.
Yes.
Amazing. Now, I say that, but I'm going to mea culpa and say I haven't tried all the Churchill Maduros in that price range. But from what I've experienced, what we have to offer, and what I've tasted, probably one of the top Churchill Maduros.
And it's evident in its, not just its immediate popularity, because people will just jump on something because it's the first, it's just coming out.
Yeah.
But its staying power.
Yeah.
The ability that and it's continually growing. That stick it takes you on that full ride. It is, like you said, the Churchill, the build of the Churchill, but it's wrapper.
Yeah.
It's blend. And when you taste that blend, you're like, how can this be $6?
It's so smooth. It's good.
It's a ride. And people are sitting back like, oh, yeah, well, McAuliffe just came out. It doesn't matter. The guy went and got the best. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. He went and got the best. He produces not just quality cigars, but above quality cigars. And that he positioned that to the consumers, to his consumers, to the point where we even named it.
Yeah.
We named it. Then he set up a Facebook page, and the ambassadors, you know, we get our coin, we get our certificate and everything, but it's just about the stick and about us.
Yep.
And that stick exemplifies that entire mindset. It really does to me. That's why if you look in my humidor, you will find at least 5 to 6 of them in there at all times, because I'm going to keep them. Because no matter what time, like you said, no matter what time of day, what you're going through, you can fire up an A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. How many To Be names you got left?
One.
I'll tell you. And it's a natural product.
Oh, yes.
Cigars, all cigars are.
Yes.
And, you know, you might have variation in different crops and harvests. There's some people that say, oh, the To Be named was richer and bolder than the McAuliffe. I would say, okay, mayhaps it was.
But
the staying power and the availability, man, the McAuliffe. I think I got 6 To Be names. I'm probably never gonna smoke them.
Look at that box I was talking about earlier. What? To be named? Yes, that's the blessing of it. Now, with the list that you presented to us so far, I have to know what is number one.
You ready?
I have to know. Yes.
The number one cigar.
And here he goes. He's taking us on that ride. Voice got deeper.
Of 2020.
A little bit more bass.
Because this is my list.
Yeah, baby.
Is the Tatiana Groovy Blue. Oh. No, I'm just kidding. No.
I was getting ready to throw.
Oh, you're gonna hit me. Oh boy. I had to backpedal fast.
We had a great top 9, and then we get to one. He said the Groovy Blue.
Shoot. Man, I don't think Richard Sherman could backpedal that fast.
No.
Oh man. No, for real. Okay, everybody listen in.
We lost listeners.
Come back now. Everybody come back. All right. Without further ado.
Okay.
The number one for me in 2020 has been a new acquisition.
Okay.
Grown in the Jalapa Valley in the Ometepe region.
No.
Close to the Volcano.
Don't say it.
By Definition Cigars out of Dallas. The Conception.
Conception, number one. Conception, number one.
For as dark as that stick is, it is so rich, so smooth. It just, and you want to know, here's the story. So I'm sitting up here, I think it's Sunday night. I'm closing out the shop, and we close early on Sundays. So we close at 6. Yeah, I'm sitting up here, and I want to say it's like 5:30, maybe even 5:40, maybe 5:43. Who knows?
It was right in that range.
We were about to shut it down. It was everybody's gone for the day. I was cleaning out ashtrays.
Gotcha.
Guy comes walking up to the door, comes inside, says, "You guys still open?" Yeah, come on in. And he goes, "Hey, I'm Neo with Definition Cigars." And at first I'm thinking, oh man, about to leave.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were coming by. I would have made an appointment. But something told me, no.
Hold on. Yeah.
There's something about what he's about to say.
Oh, yes.
And he shared with me Definition Cigars. And I'll tell you, I've tried almost all of them. I haven't dipped into the Solidarity, which is the red band yet, because those, I can't hold on to those.
I got 2 at home that I haven't smoked yet.
And those are hard to get right now. But
so
it was just non-stop home run. And he told me about the conception. He goes, "This is our first anniversary cigar. Been around very, very short time, but this is the cigar we made for our anniversary last year." And I thought, okay, he looks real dark. This is not the time for me. A couple days later, I'm like, it might be time. I took the cold draw. I was like, Then I was expecting like a punch, because that sucker's dark.
It is.
I was expecting a punch off the first light of the foot, and it was just smooth. I was like, oh my gosh. The retrohale didn't make me tear up.
Yes.
It was just nonstop. Just, okay, something's going to happen towards the middle. Something did happen. It got better. And it was like, oh my gosh. And then, I was getting nervous because the band on these, it's a fabric.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fabric. And I'm like, okay, if I accidentally burn into a paper band, that's fine.
Yeah,
but this fabric,
yeah,
this thing is gonna taste bad. But I couldn't budget, and I didn't want to tear the wrapper. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to put this out.
Yeah.
You get about half to a quarter inch away, band slips right off.
Yes, it does.
Slide it on your finger, and you finish your journey. Oh my God, it is just.
Man.
If you can get it, put it in your mouth, light it on fire, smoke it.
Your list, and I have to be truthful, is a list. I mean, just being real about it. It's an A list. The sticks that you have that you produced on your list are those that are, first of all, they're blue collar friendly.
Yep.
You're not going to go broke buying any of these sticks, and the taste, the appeal, just everything about every last one of them. And then your number one being the definition of DC. People, if you have never tasted that conception, find it. Take that ride and get in contact with us on Cigar Talk and let us know. They are here at the Leaf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All you have to do, as we always have in the show notes, we got the number, call them up. They'll get them to you. I'm telling you, man, Jay, your list is, I feel bad about my list I put out now, man. I tried to stay blue collar friendly, and I had definition in mind also.
Hey, all right.
But it's just you have provided us a list that, is like the heavens opened up.
And these are the sticks that I love smoking.
Yeah.
I think the most expensive one was $10.70.
Yeah.
But even though people will look at me and be like, "You own the cigar shop. You sit around, smoke cigars all day." They're not free still.
Yeah, they're not free. And
I still got to buy them.
And thinking he sits around smoking cigars all day is a farce too, because this dude is running back and forth, doing this, paperwork everywhere. You look at him, he's at that desk in front of that computer trying to figure out what to bring to us, to keep here. It's not that, that fun that you think, I could just go back there and grab me a stick. No, bruh. No, bruh.
And I do appreciate your co-host, Rob.
Uh-huh.
One day he came into the office, sat down, and I looked up, and he goes, "Oh, no, I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
You got that look in your eyes.
We can recognize it.
You're busy."
Yes, sir.
I'm just sitting down.
Yeah.
Because, quite frankly, I think I have the best chair in the office. I thought about putting it out here in the members lounge.
Because it'd be stolen.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. But, man, I truly appreciate your list. I appreciate you, man. You and Corey have given us an opportunity to take this ride with you on your vision. And you're putting inside the shop things that keep us here. Not just draw us, but draw us and keep us here. There is no place, and I visit shops, I go places, and everywhere I go, it's always I'm comparing them to the Leaf. I'm comparing them to what I have. And there are some that can try to get to your level, but I haven't had one, especially the new Leaf. Nah, bruh. Nah. And then with the quantity and the type of sticks that they present, I'm like, nah, man, this is home. And home is hitting a home run. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not. I told you a long time ago, I'm your fan, and I'm going to be around you until the day one of us says, okay, God said, let's go home. Yep. But I'm going to be here with you forever, man. And I truly appreciate you, brother. I truly appreciate you.
Thank you.
Your list is out of this world, man. But in the end, 1166 North 2nd.
That's where we at.
come here, call here, send here. You know, I think they read smoke signals.
There you go. Yeah.
You get the message here, he'll get it out to you. So, man, I appreciate you, brother, and thank you for that list, man.
You're very welcome.
And for those, they'll be in the show notes. So you can go and look at Corey and Jay's list.
Yep.
And if you can't find it at your home shop, give them a call, man. Give them a call.
And
they'll
also,
send them out.
Also, our website is working.
Uh-oh.
TheLeafCigar.com.
Uh-oh. TheLeafCigar.com. That'll be in the show notes.
It no longer takes you to Facebook.
It takes you to the actual website.
Legit website.
Yeah, that's where we going, man. That's where we going.
Right now, we don't do any e-commerce, but if you can remember TheLeafCigar.com, then sorry, Rob's phone's ringing here. But if you remember TheLeafCigar.com, we have a contact us, and
it's new. It's
let
here.
us know.
It's there. The Leaf is everywhere now. It's not just at 1166 North 2nd.
Yeah.
It's virtual. Go on to leaf.com, correct? And
That's
what is the number again? The telephone number?
325-670-9955.
He tried to take you into that old slow music and slow jam. 325.
No, I'm a little bit perplexed because, with Roma Craft, anybody that smoked the Roma Craft knows the struggle of the band, right?
But
I think I saw this meme one time where they asked, "Hey, what brand of JB Weld does Roma Craft use to put on their bands?" But mine just slides right off. Look at that.
Too. Look at
that.
Here it is.
You know why? It's the Black Irish.
Black Irish, baby. Black Irish. Jay Patterson, curator, owner, visionary of The Leaf in Abilene, Texas. Thank you, bro.
Hey, I can't do it without you guys coming in. Everybody out there listening, for your support. Corey and I we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys.
Hey, we appreciate you guys, man.
It's reciprocal.
Yeah. So we'll take a break real quick. And after the break, me and Rob, the two knuckleheads, will be back. Thank you again, Jay.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, bro.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging through the break. That was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great to get their perspective on a top 10. And dude, all those cigars going into 2021, you got a great list to smoke. I mean, we did our top 20 2 weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
And now boom,
Yes,
another
sir.
top 20 from two guys that have different perspectives.
And that's what I was getting to. It was two different perspectives on their list. But when you look at the sticks that are on their list,
all good.
You're like, come on, bruh.
And how about Definition Cigars?
Jay's number one.
Yeah. And we've given those guys a lot of props because I mean they've really impressed me.
Like I said, Jay has had the blessing for the last 6 years of being around all the best cigars.
Yes.
All the best.
And for that to
year,
be your number one, that's pretty impressive.
That shocked me, man. I'm like, his list was great. It went from medium bold to bold, but for him to have, I'm like, your top 9 was great. I got to hear this number one. And he said, I'm like, Definition.
I heard you banging on the table.
I'm like,
Hey, but listen to this. Corey's list completely blew me away because I was expecting not much.
Yeah, we heard.
But I was planning on roasting him.
And it didn't happen.
And it didn't happen because he actually came out with a great list of sticks. So you guys, I hope you wrote these down because
Jace, my producer, your producer, Luke said he's going to have them on the list for everybody.
okay, so look down the show notes and he'll have the
Man, that's a
full-
great list.
Yeah.
Add Irish to that.
Oh, dude.
Bro, you got
Top 40?
Yes. You can last a whole year with that.
Dude.
Ooh.
I mean, so Well, hey guys, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in. We look forward to what happens in the year 2021. We want to give a big shout out to all our Patreons.
Yes.
You guys support us. It's a blessing. It humbles us. We're just so thankful that you want to support us and the show. And we look forward to what's going to happen in 2021. You know, the thing about it is Cigar Talk started as a thought.
Yes.
Then it started as me doing a one-man show. The audio sucked and it progressed to me and you.
Yeah.
And then the audio quality eventually got better. Then we started doing video this year, and you know, it was kind of the same.
Yeah.
It didn't start out good, but it's getting better.
Yes, sir.
So we hope you stick with us, and if you would like to become a Patreon, go by the website. It's cigartalkpodcast.com, and you can become a Patreon. We would much love you to be part of the team.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And anyway, that's going to wrap it up, and we'll see you next week. Until then,
Keep smoking.
boom.